What is happening, YouTube? Cowboy here. Welcome back to Monster Hunter World, and this is my longsword build, the Donger Man. Now, the longsword is a great weapon for both beginners and veterans. We got plenty of mobility while our blade's out. We got tons of reach on this bad boy. But on top of that, we actually have a pretty high skill ceiling in the form of the Foresight Slash, allowing us to both mitigate damage as well as do some pretty fun counterplay. But before we jump into a quick overview of how I play the weapon as well as an in-depth look at the build, here is the full build. I know a lot of people have been asking to kind of see the build up front, so here you go. Ideally, I would like to have an attack decoration to put into the greaves, giving me level 7 attack instead of that random point in vitality, but we work with what we got. So, moving into the build, the basic idea of the longsword is as you do attacks, you're going to build up that gauge in the top left. That's your spirit gauge. As you can see, it fills up with red. Once it fills up with red, you can then press the right trigger, do your spirit blade combo, and if the final hit connects, the spirit round slash, you gain a level. As you can see, it now has a white aura around it, and we are level 1. You can build this to level 2 where it becomes yellow, and level 3 where it gets a red aura. And the main gist is get it up to level 3 as fast as possible, because at level 3 we're going to be dumping out our Spirit Helm Breakers, which are hands down the most damaging attack in the arsenal of the longsword. And that's kind of the gist of this weapon, is get to level 3, Spirit Helm Breaker, and then build a level back up. Now there's a couple ways to execute the Spirit Round Slash, which we'll go into in just a moment. Obviously, you can just start by hitting the right trigger, and you will end up doing that after a couple Spirit Helm Breakers. But while you're initially building it, what I like to do is go either triangle, triangle, and then a fade slash. And then from the fade slash, as you can see, we just do R2, R2, and we go right into the round slash. If you don't do that, instead, if we have almost a full gauge, you'll notice we have Spirit Blade 1, Spirit Blade 2, Spirit Blade 3, and then the round slash. Now, once our gauge is up and we start doing Spirit Helm Breakers, the gauge will have some autofill. So at that point, you really just end up spamming the right trigger a lot. But, you'll see that later on in the video when we fight some stuff. But aside from doing the basic combo, you can also jump off of something and hit right trigger to do an aerial spirit attack, followed up by a spirit attack level 3, just to kind of show that real fast here. We're to jump off a ledge, jumping Spirit Blade 3. And if you had any energy in the bar, you could then do a Spirit Blade 3 into a round slash. Alternatively, this also works in a similar fashion when you slide down something, although I think this is a little bit faster. By sliding and hitting the right trigger, you do the aerial draw, and then you can go into a Spirit round slash. Definitely keep note that the aerial draw has to connect. It has to actually hit something, or you need to have Spirit built up to go into the Spirit round slash. And the last portion is via the Foresight Slash. Now this is definitely going to be the hardest one to pull off because it's very much about the timing. But as you can see right there, I ended up pressing right trigger and circle just before I would have taken that hit. And there was a little ding, and you saw a kind of a blue puff of smoke around me, if you will, scout flies, whatever you want to call it. And what this attack does is it allows you to mitigate out damage, and that follow-up hit with your sword, if that connects, you can then hit right trigger again and go into a Spirit Round Slash. So now that we've covered the Spirit Round Slash, let's talk about why we're getting level 3, and that is Spirit Helm Breaker. Probably one of the coolest attacks in the game. So once you get up to level 3, you're just going to hit right trigger and triangle to do a Spirit Thrust, and from the Spirit Thrust, you'll jump into the air and come down swinging this massive katana and doing tons of damage, such as this. Now, as you can see right there, all those crits hit for roughly 111. And I think it's important to note that you should only do your Spirit Helm Breaker at level 3. Right now we're at level 2. If we do another one, remember we are at 111 before. See right there, we hit 61 on our crits. And if we were to go down at level 1, it'll be even lower. It'll be somewhere in the 30s. 39. So, point being made, always try and do this from level 3. Now as you do your Spirit Helm Breakers, obviously the bar starts getting a bit of auto recharge. The basic idea is you get to level 3, you do a Spirit Helm Breaker. From there, you just dump into another attack. You do a Spirit Helm Breaker. You dump into another attack. You do a Spirit Helm Breaker. So you're constantly going to be dancing between level 2 and level 3, working in whatever methods you can of getting off that Spirit Round Slash to get back to level 3 and just constantly dumping out Spirit Helm Breakers into the target. The last thing I want to note, actually there's a couple last things I want to note. When you do the Spirit Helm Breaker, you can reorient yourself in midair. I didn't know this for a while, but once you jump, just pull the left stick in the direction you want to hit, tap triangle, and your character will turn his direction. You can do this once. You can't make your character, you know, air dance or anything, but, you know, if the target gets behind you, pull your stick back, hit triangle, you'll turn and hit it. The other thing is with our foresight slash. You'll notice when I do that, my entire bar just drained. And that's important to note because you don't just want to sit there in the fight being like, foresight slash, foresight slash, foresight slash, because you'll never build up. If you can hit it, go for it. It's huge. But keep in mind that you are dumping out all of the energy you've built in your bar every time you do that. Additionally, it's important to note that the foresight slash only works off of an attack. Right now I'm sitting here just mashing and it won't work. I have to do a thrust first, or I have to do a step slash or something. So the fastest way is going to be obviously thrust into foresight slash. That's nearly instant. You know, just to show how fast that is. If I sit here and I just spam thrusts, oh, I fucked it up. But anyway, thrust into foresight slash is going to be the fastest way to execute it. Obviously, you can work on it at any time in the middle of the combo. You know, if we're sitting here and we're boom, we're step slashing, we're doing some pokes, we're doing some fade slashing, we're doing that. Oh, I got a good chance. Foresight slash, hit it, just like that. Either way, I think I've covered everything I wanted to. So let's jump into the build itself and show you what it is. And it's a pretty straightforward one today. So first up, we got Divine Slasher. Now this is going to be the go-to longsword when you want damage. You can use whatever longsword you want, but this boasts the highest damage in the game for longswords when you take into account both the boost from Elementless and the White Sharpness. To achieve that White Sharpness, Handicraft Charm 3. Auto include here. And from there, we basically just stack on a bunch of DPS. We got Dragon King Eye Patch, obviously, to gain access to the 2 points of weakness exploit. Dobermail Beta for a level 2 decoration slot, or excuse me, level 3 and 2 points in attack boost. Valhazak Braces, mainly for the 3 level 1 decoration slots, but peak performance, hey, why not, we'll take it. Nergigante Coil Beta for 2 points in attack boost. And then lastly, Dobrogreaves Beta for 2 more points in attack boost. Once we work our decorations on in, we have Elementless. Obviously, that's an auto include. That's going to take our damage from 693 up to 822. That is massive. Way too big to pass up on that. As for this slot, you can really work in whatever you want. I tested a couple different things. I tried Mighty Jewels, I tried Critical Boost, I tried Agitator, and I found that I was getting the best returns damage-wise on Critical Boost. Given this was me punching numbers into a spreadsheet, but it was really, really close between all 3 of those. But the basic idea is put in something that'll give you damage. Sharp. Basically an auto include with a build like this. We're going to be burning through sharpness, very similar to how we were with the Insect Glaive. So doing sharp and the triple grinder, similar to the Insect Glaive, you know, they work in so well, it's hard to pass them up. And you might say, oh, well, I want to put in more critical boost. I want more damage. And, you know, if you want to go for that, go for it, man. But at the end of the day, White Sharpness is a 1.32 damage modifier compared to Blue Sharpness, which is only a 1.2. It's an extra 12% damage we get from maintaining the white. And to that effect, Sharp Jewel and Triple Grinder are the way to go. Even if you don't have Sharp Jewel, because it's fairly rare, Triple Grinder is easy to slot in. That's the whole reason we brought out the Valhazak Braces. Moving on from there, of course, make sure you have Tenderizer to boost our weakness exploit up. And then ideally, as I mentioned back at the start, you would drop an attack jewel right here, putting your Dobrogreaves all the way up to level 7 attack when we add everything together. So once again, just a quick overview, as you can kind of see on the right hand side already, but just to go through it all as I always have, attack boost to level 7 should be your priority here. From there, weakness exploit level 3, because that is going to give us that sweet, sweet affinity. Handicraft at level 3 to get the white sharpness. Speed sharpening because we want to sharpen nice and fast. Critical boost I found to be the best game we're going to get here damage-wise, but use whatever you're comfortable with. Non-elemental boost, obviously a completely necessary gem to really get this damage off the ground. Protective polish because it's delicious with longswords. And then peak performance we get from the gloves, which, whatever, 5 attack is nice. And that's going to wrap it up. You know, there's really not a lot to it. Obviously, this makes us kind of look like somebody from the Village People, which is why we went for the rainbow color scheme. Just, you know, have things constantly changing, and the name Donger Man kind of fits. So anyway, let's jump on into a hunt, show you what this thing is capable of. So for our hunt today, we're going to be going after 2 tempered Snow and Cherry Blossoms. So this was the weekly event quest. Fight a tempered Legiana and tempered Pink Rathian. Should be a pretty good showcase of the longsword's abilities, and I wanted to actually do tempered Teostra, and I was like practicing against him with all the foresight slash timings. You know, even then I still consider myself terrible at using the foresight slash, so retrospect, I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like, well, it would probably showcase the longsword better if I fought something that I haven't practiced all the timings against, just to show that, even being piss poor with the timings, you can still beat the snot out of everything. And so I think this mission will be a good choice. Now, of course, because we are fighting two monsters, their health is slightly reduced. Somebody pointed that out back on the Diablos video, like I was like trying to hide it from people. Like, yeah, if you're fighting two monsters, it's not both at 100%. Their health is slightly lower. It's coming down. Push him out of the sky in a second. Sun. So I really like Rocksteady for Longsword. I can't stress enough how awesome Rocksteady is. Just because, especially at the start, while you're trying to get your levels up, Rocksteady is going to let you go right through the roars. It's going to give you the anti-flinch for attacks. It helps so much that I almost consider it like mandatory. Like even with earplugs. Because once you get your level 3 up, at that point, you're good to go. It doesn't matter as much anymore. But until level 3 is achieved, that's your, I shouldn't say most vulnerable state, but, since you need level 3 to really start seeing your damage come online, having Rocksteady will help to get that up really effective. Oh, and that's level 3. Alright. Now, if you miss the slash, it's okay. The big thing is... Oh, we got the tail with it! The big thing is hitting the helm splitter. When the helm splitter goes off, that's when you lose a level. So keep that in mind. Even if the initial, if the thrust doesn't connect, helm splitter can. Just like I said, it's only that final roundhouse slash that matters. And let's put this on. Stuff like Immunity Mantle, it's fantastic when you're fighting like Arathian, just because it shuts down the poison, shuts down the blind, or not the blind, the fire. Stop that shit. Boom, 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 boom. Why you gotta do that to me? Why you gotta knock me down like that? That's rude as hell. Trying to fly away. Come on. Try and jump. Try and get in the air. Try it. Try it. Watch what I do to your ass. No, I guess that slash, I think I stopped his retreat. Yeah, you ain't going anywhere. This is the end! Bye. I mean, the longsword really does lend itself to some, like, hype anime style moments, Jump up in the air, come down with this massive slash, and then ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba, series of cuts go off, like, oh, it's satisfying. I wanted to do the whole Omai Moshinderu with this, actually, but since I already did it with the dual blades, I was like, I already did it. I think it'd be lazy to do it again, but it would have lended to a frickin' sick opening, for sure. Never have too many flash pods. Hello, friend. Oh, with the far side slash through the roar! Get fucking Shrek'd, you nerd! Need him. Try and jump one more time. Just try and jump for a second. Come on down here. Come on, jump, hop. Good boy. Oh, that was a miss. I hate how much this fucking thing just hops and shit. I cannot hit it with flash pods. There we go. big thing too is once you start really getting off with the helm splitters, you can start just kind of continuously doing them. Because once you start getting them out and you get that auto regen on your bar, you'll be able to basically go from a helm splitter straight into your next spirit slash attacks. Alright, are you going to come down or are you going to sit up on that stupid rock? Like, that's right there. I probably could have done my attack, but instead, I'm so used to dodging. It's just, you know, getting practice with it, getting used to it. Oh, that was so fucking nice. You can see now that we're starting to get some helm splitters in, we got enough like auto regen on our bar. It's just straight into another one, drop out a triangle, helm split. And boom! And straight into another series of round slashes. Oh no, and the little dudes put him to sleep. Yo, you were so dead, my friend. Thinks he's gonna get up in the air. No. Going nowhere. Get down. Easy peasy, baby. Like, honestly, I think the hardest part of that fight was hitting Legiana with a flash pod. Like, once we got him to stop flapping around and being an annoying asshole, he was down and he got whooped on. And that's how longsword works. I mean, like I said, very, very straightforward, simple weapon. You know, get up to level 3, do your big smash into the head, and then it's just spirit combo helm splitter, spirit combo helm splitter. Just rinse and repeat, and it does work. I mean, that's 2 tempereds in, I don't know, what are we at? 7 minutes-ish? Not too shabby, right? Obviously, I'm sure someone's going to ask, but the color change, that's the rainbow chroma you get from the Hunt Rank 100 quest. Pretty cool. It just keeps cycling through various colors on your armor, and since my guy looks like someone from the Village People, I felt it was appropriate. But either way, that is going to wrap up things for the longsword. So up next, I'm going to be bringing you guys either the hammer or greatsword. Similar to the longsword, I'm not really confident in my usage of the greatsword yet. I think I have a really, really powerful build put together. I mean, it's kind of like this, you know, you really just focus on damage. But I would like to get better at using the greatsword before I do the build. So maybe I'll do hammer first. Hammer I'm missing 1 gem for and it's done, and it's pretty potent. So either way, thanks for coming by. I hope you guys liked the build. As always, drop a comment down below letting me know your thoughts, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like because that always helps. And we will see you guys with the next build for Monster Hunter World.